Hello and welcome to the Initiative Order and our campaign of A Corrupted Frontier, a game set in the world of Death in Space. Thank you all very much for joining us this evening. This will be episode 6 so far. Feels like forever, but it's only been a moment. We're going to jump right in. Before we do, we're going to go around the table, give a quick intro on who we are and everyone. As some of you may be aware, we are down a player today. Dawn unfortunately can't join us tonight, but we'll be back with us next episode. So they are watching, they are listening, they're okay. Right, moving around the table. I should look at which way. I'm going to go anti-clockwise, and it's going to be Cori first.
Oh God. Okay. Hi. I'm Cori. My voice sounds like this today. I'm so sorry. I use she, they pronouns, and I am playing Bobbi, who also uses she, they pronouns.
Thank you very much. Next up is Homero.
Hello, people. Good evening. My name is Dawn. I play Mira, and I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
Every time. Next up is Mazz.
Hello, my name is Mazz. My pronouns are they, them, and I play Xander. His pronouns are he, him, and they, them.
Thank you very much. Next up is Melissa.
Hello, I'm Melissa. I play Lunar Carrison, she, her.
Thank you. And last but not least, Rachel, our newest member.
Hello, I'm just a worm. I'm Rachel. My pronouns are they, she, and I play Echo, whose pronouns are they, them.
Thank you very much. I'm Danny. You all know me. He, him.
Now, who are you?
I'm the person who's
been low key.
I'm the person
He's the
who's
man
dealing with.
He's the mind behind everything.
He's our doom and our fate.
Yes. And with that incredible line, let us go on over to our intro. See you in a minute.
Intro.
And we're back. So, to recap what happened last session, as we had a couple players missing and a couple characters incapacitated in one way or another. So, to recap, I'm going to hand it over to our wonderful captain, Bobbi.
Hello. So, last episode of Death in Space. The party was a touch split up. Bobbi was back on the ship while the rest of the crew was coming back from going after Bo Zapper, the serial killer and wanted criminal that the crew had a bounty for. Xander, while the crew was in the process of going after Bo, lost his leg, and Mira successfully knifed Bo. Once the crew was back on the ship, they initially blasted off, heading for the Iron Ring in the hopes of saving Xander and their leg. Wyoming, Lunar, and Bobbi kept watch over Xander while Mira kept to herself in her room. The crew decided to take a small detour to a mining facility in the hopes it would have helpful items for Xander. While on the way, however, they found a ship split open. Bobbi and Wyoming decided to explore while Lunar stayed behind and discovered one intact hibernation pod surrounded by broken ones. Bringing it back with the intention of using it on Xander, they realized the pod was already home to an individual. After successfully talking everyone down and learning Echo wanted a place on the ship, Bobbi offered Echo a spot on the crew while Xander was put in the pod. And that's what you missed, the last episode of Death in Space.
Thank you very much. So, to begin this session, a couple of days have passed since Echo joined this crew and Xander was placed in this hibernation pod. For those watching, the hibernation pods in this world are what soul pods use to go into cryo for long periods of time when traveling vast distances across the universe. One bonus to hibernation pods is that they're also a kind of self-contained medical bay and can heal wounds and extreme wounds such as missing limbs by regrowing them. So the crew put Xander in this pod they found after Echo exited the pod. Xander. So you've been unconscious for a while now, because Wyoming assisted in heavily sedating you. Can you
Cheers.
roll me a savvy roll?
Okay. I
If
guess
we
I can
straight
do
into
that.
this.
15?
15. Okay. Thank you very much. So, you open your eyes very slowly, having not opened them since you passed out on the moon station, having had your leg chopped off. As you're opening your eyes and coming around, slightly dizzy, slightly dazed, you don't feel any pain in your leg or where your leg was. You see a soft white light and everything in front of you appears to be frosted. And you are laid down on your back.
Can I look down or not really?
If you want to, you can.
Oh, am I able to lift my head up that much, or how close is the top of the pod
you
to my
can't
face?
quite tell at this time, so you can't because you're still dazed and your vision's kind of a little bit blurred as you're coming to.
Okay,
You can't
I
quite tell the
think
distance.
I reach my hands out to see what this glass is.
Okay, yeah, you feel,
Does it
and
feel cold?
It's like, yeah, like not that far from you. It does have a slight cold feeling to it. Yeah,
Okay.
and it is domed.
I
around you.
I tilt my chin down and look as much as I can to the lower half of my body. What do I see?
Okay, so before I answer that question, who out of the rest of the crew here has been taking up the position of checking in on Xander whilst they've been in this pod? And they've been in this like 3 days at this point.
That will be me.
Okay.
But for the record, right now, I'm really, really, really sleep.
Okay. Thank you for telling me that. That assists with what I needed clarification on. Xander, you look down and you see there is one leg there. You look to the other side and there is no pain from where your leg was severed at the thigh above the knee. You try to bend your knee, and you feel your knee bend. And as you kind of refocus your eyes and you look down, you see at the bottom of the pod 2 feet. And you kind of instinctually wiggle your toes, and you see on your full normal leg, your toes wiggle. You wiggle the toes on your the severed leg, and looking at the foot at the bottom, it does not move. And then you move your thigh to kind of change your position, and the leg at the bottom does not move. But then as you move your thigh, you see a small protrusion coming from below your kneecap, and a little set of toes wiggling. To give you kind of context, imagine Deadpool when he has his hand chopped off and it regrows, so it grows like a baby hand into a human hand. That's what your leg is currently doing. So
my shit leg.
Yeah, so from like the knee down, your leg's about that long, but there is a foot on the end already, and it's about like that big.
So it's like growing basically from birth onward.
But there are 2 adult feet at the end of the pod.
Oh, interesting. So from knee to ankle, it's smaller?
No,
I'm
there is your
confused.
severed leg is in the bottom of the pod because Wyoming put it there, and he's left it there expecting it to reattach.
And that's not what's happening.
No.
Interesting. Okay.
There's just a severed body part at the bottom of this pod that you're in.
Should I go back to sleep?
It's up to you. You're not in pain.
I regretfully knock on the glass. I know I probably shouldn't wake up yet, because clearly I'm not done.
Finished cooking yet? You knock on the glass. Okay. Can all of you, apart from Xander, make me a savvy roll?
I'm regretting waking up.
19.
19, okay.
Natural 20.
Okay. Just wait on Lunar.
10.
10, okay. Xander, you knock on the glass, and at first nothing. No response. After a couple more moments, no response. Bobbi, Wyoming, and Echo, you were all, this moment in time, in the mess area of the ship, having something to eat or something. Lunar, you were kind of elsewhere. You kind of moved away to the front of the ship. Luckily, Wyoming, being slightly tired at this point, hasn't closed the bulkhead door, like the hatch door that leads into the kind of storage bay where this hibernation pod is housed. So the 3 of you do hear a slight tapping sound coming from the storage bay.
Hey, Captain, can you
Mm.
hear that?
Yeah. I'm
I don't.
hoping
mean-
it's Xander.
Do you think it's kind of early, right? I mean, probably it's half baked.
Echo, is it early? I'm not familiar with this sort of tack.
Someone put me back to sleep!
When I was in there, it wasn't physical injury, it was a disease, so maybe they just need to be flipped over.
I guess let's go find out.
Let's see. And I just ran to the storage room.
Okay. the three of you head back into the storage room, and you can hear a tapping coming from the hibernation pod.
Okay, at least it's Xander. Wyoming, do you want to go ahead and open the pod up?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And I start open the pod.
As soon as you open the pod and I look at you, I grab the front of your shirt, I pull you down close to me, and I say, "Put me back to sleep."
I mean, I have a question for you. Are you the original Xander, or you are the second Xander that it's growing from the severed leg?
I push open the glass even more and I gesture down to my legs.
Oh, I see. Okay, that experiment went bad, but I think it was worth it to try. So, oh my gosh, is that your new leg? What it looks like a 7-year-old leg, or
I
even
sit
younger.
up. I just very gradually sit up. How many days have I been in here? And I look at Bobbi.
Just a few days. And I think also I'm going to be a little bit in front of Echo if Echo joined us. Not like trying to completely block them from view, but just so Echo is not like the first person you see.
Do I see them though behind you?
Yes.
I see a void on the other side of my captain, and I immediately reach down for a knife that I don't have.
No. It's look. Hey, Echo. Do you wanna introduce yourself?
Xander, he tried to kill me.
My eyes go
I
wide
didn't
when I
try to
look at
kill him.
Wyoming.
I think if you know Wyoming, you can probably realize I didn't try to kill him. You are laying where I was. That's where I came from. My ship was.
I look around at the pod, and I look at the void, and I look at the pod. What's your name?
Echo Luctus.
I look at Bobbi for confirmation that this person is safe.
I'll just kind of nod at you. Small thumbs up.
I unclench my fists.
If I wanted to harm you, it would have been easier to do while you were still asleep.
Can't argue with that. I think I try to get up. I bend my good knee to try to push myself up because I know that while my other leg is new and there, that it doesn't work yet. And I reach an arm out from Wyoming's arm.
Are you sure you can walk already?
No, I'm not. But
Do you think with that leg you can get a discount on a Happy Meal?
What?
You know, it's like a baby leg, so maybe you can, try to pull a scam on a Happy Meal restaurant.
I take my arm back and I grab my old leg and I not hard, but I smack Wyoming with it. Does this look like it works to you? And I just gently toss it to him.
I mean, who knows? Maybe, and just maybe, we can use the pot in order to grow a second Xander. That's my theory. Just
don't
think
need
about
two
the
of me.
possibilities.
I don't,
Yes, we do.
don't need two of me. No.
We need. I mean,
I would kill my other version of myself if that
why?
were to actually happen. Can we not talk about the existential dread of seeing two of me
Can
for
I
a
keep
minute? I'm trying to cope with the fact that I'm not dead right now and I have a leg growing completely from scratch out of my knee. Can you just help me up? Please.
Yes, I can help you. But I'm keeping the leg, just to you to know. I want you to know.
You can keep the leg. That's
Okay.
as long as I don't have to look at it ever again. Keep my damn leg.
Okay. And I put it inside my coat, and I help Xander.
I use leverage from Wyoming's arm, and I kind of get up and sit up on the side of the pod that the door doesn't hinge open from.
Mhm.
And I what side of the pod are you guys on?
I feel like we're like, and Echo, correct me if I'm wrong, but like we're kind of like, I'm imagining the pod is like this, and we're like on one side of it, like
the foot or the head of it?
like probably like the foot
Okay.
side of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Xander, it's very good to have you back. This situation is killing me. I mean, like the captain is using Echo to everything. Echo this, Echo that. Echo, what do you think about this color? Echo, what are you gonna eat? Echo, how about this dress? It's killing me. Really, you have to put a 10 on this.
I look at Wyoming, and then I look at Echo, and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, he's quite entertaining. I'm a huge fan.
That's a word. Okay, so I am sitting facing inside the pod, and I'm gonna try to. I'm not in pain, but I think I feel stiff because I haven't moved in so long. So I'm gonna try to like slowly like swing my legs around and reach out for someone to help me stand up.
Okay.
I'll help you.
I kind of just keep eye contact with the front face of Echo as they help me up. And I'm obviously, it's like I don't have a second leg, because it obviously does not reach the floor, and so I'm just trying to kind of hold balance on my good leg.
Yeah. Can you make me a dexterity check? And Echo.
Certainly can.
Echo, can you make me a tech roll, please?
13.
But remember, you can lean on me, Xander, anytime.
17.
Okay, perfect. Firstly, Xander, you managed to balance yourself on the one leg with a little bit of help from Echo to help you stand pretty well, but you are going to need like some form of crutches or something to move around because you've got one leg.
Okay, so I'm leaning on Echo with one arm and Wyoming on the other.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got, for Echo's reference, I have robot arms, so they're heavy and cold. And I'm trying very gingerly to hold on to you guys without weighing you down too much. And I just look at Bobbi like, what did I miss?
Let's see. You guys came down. Mira's still not doing super well. After the whole incident with Bo. We were trying to find how to take care of you. We were going to go to this mining facility, and then we came across Echo's ship, came across Echo. It was a whole thing. Wyoming tried to grab their weapon.
I wasn't.
Okay.
It was a misunderstanding.
Yeah, Wyoming looked like he was trying to grab the weapon.
That's pretty much accurate, yeah.
Yep. Echo was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" It was a whole thing. Echo
It was
like,
a kerfuffle of sorts.
"Yeah, let's."
yeah.
I think that's a proper term.
Yeah.
Lots of going through space. You haven't missed that much, all in all. Besides, and I'm like gesturing at Echo, new crew member.
We're throwing a party.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, we're throwing a party.
I'm gonna like look at Xander and just like give a look of like, yep, that's totally what we're doing. Like, just trying to
imply that I got it. I got it.
I mean, there's gonna be like a bunch of food and real mammals and a lot of milk and a lot of mammals that gives milk. It's gonna be insane.
It's really nice to know that you have not changed in the 3 days that I have been in this cryo sleep. And I just kind of pat Wyoming and hold on to one of his shoulders. And I look back to Bobbi, but Miro's okay.
As much as she can be.
I have a very concerned look on my face and I'm trying to hide my concern.
As much as she can be. We've been trying to check in, just knocks on the door, but nothing too much.
I look down at my leg and my new growing leg. And I just nod. What have... And I just look and I say, Zappa? Did we get him? What? I don't remember much.
Look, before we get into anything, do you want real food first?
That sounds great. Yeah, can sit somewhere too, please. Chair. Food? Chair. Yes.
Both. Let's do both.
Both good.
While it's very good to see that you're alive. I should just say though that your leg isn't going to keep growing if you're out of the pod. So
I kind of
you should
figured.
spend some time in there. Maybe you should sleep at night in there.
I don't want to miss anything else. And I look at the rest of the crew. I can't afford to miss anything else. I agree with Echo.
I'm sure we can also fashion some sort of prosthetic to help you walk, but also support the new growth as well.
Honestly, that's something I would probably ask of Mira, and I don't want to bother her right now. Honestly, any kind of crutch is fine.
I'm sure we can find something.
And then I just let you guys kind of carry me wherever direction we go.
Okay. So you all head up to the mess, to the little galley kitchen, and sit down there as a group of 5. Yeah, you're in the dining area there. You can prepare food and stuff if you want to. Yes, Bobbi.
I was just gonna say, like, if I can, while we're all kind of going, I want to just go knock on Mira's door and just be like, hey, we're gonna get food if you wanted to just come sit with us. Not really expecting a response, but just trying to let her know that, like, she is welcome.
You knock, you say that, and you hear a slight shuffle in the room, but no response, no answer of the door or anything.
When Bobbi comes back in, as we're all sitting down, I imagine I've been brought food and we're all kind of eating. As Bobbi walks in, I slide a plate to her, to her as she sits down. Listen, I don't know what happened, after Wyoming put me down. Also, thank you for that. Never thought I would say thank you to being drugged, but I also never thought I'd go after a serial killer. Weirder things have happened. It's space. It's fine. Thank you all for saving me. I don't know how, but I don't really know what else to say.
I mean, Xander, you don't have to say so too much. I mean, we're a team. We're almost like a family. We have to take care of each other. I mean, I'm thinking about everything in this spacecraft, but Echo, of course.
Fair enough.
I think Xander kind of sits with that for a minute because it's definitely not something that he's used to hearing. Teams he's been on have just been work and a means of survival for him. And he looks at Wyoming and he says, I really honestly appreciate that.
Oh, no problem.
All right, I finished my plate. I take my last sip of whatever I'm drinking. And then I look at Bobbi. So what happened?
Well, as far as I can tell, you guys got Bo. You came down. You know, the whole thing.
We did kill him? Or is he here? Is he alive or is he's okay. All right. Good.
I mean, it was awesome. You have it. I mean, I don't want to, brag about anything, but it was pretty heroic, and now it's dead, and we have to collect that reward, that bounty.
Okay. Yeah.
Speaking about that bounty, what's the plan now, Captain? I mean,
we were going to that mining facility, but Xander is healing as best they can. So I say, well, let's just go ahead and go to the Iron Ring.
Yeah, we should do that. I mean, Xander is fine.
I will be.
Fine-ish. Yeah.
I will be. I think at this point I turn to Echo. So what's your story?
Well, how much time do you have?
I guess as long as it takes to get to the Iron Ring. I'm clearly not going anywhere.
I would say well, I was a navigator for a mining crew. We were headed to the Mazz 51 asteroid belt. We got a bit too close to the edge of the universe, I suppose. Got too close to the void.
It's brave.
Probably a bit foolish. But I was doing some work on the exterior of the ship, and there was some sort of flare, I suppose. And something, I guess, got into my suit. I came back inside, and something was detected, and I was quarantined for a certain amount of time. But then, as I started to get more ill, my memories aren't very clear. But what I gathered was they put me into the pod to heal me. And while I was in hibernation, something, maybe a malfunction to the ship, caused the explosion. And next thing I know, I wake up to somebody getting a bit grabby with my stuff. But we're cool now. We're like best friends. Don't let him fool you.
Yeah, he has that effect on people. I'm sorry to hear about your crew.
Thank you. I appreciate it. They were a solid group of people who tried to save, well, they did save my life. Apparently I was perfectly healed when I was thawed out.
Well, clearly I can relate to that.
Yeah. Don't be surprised if you're finding frost places for a little while.
Yeah, I expect I'll be sleeping in that pod for quite a few nights.
Your captain has been very kind and offered to let me stay on the ship, at least as far as the Iron Ring. Like I've said to them, I understand. I'm a stranger. You don't know me, and I am very happy to earn my place amongst your crew. But if you guys want me off once we reach the Iron Ring, that's fine. But I hope to be of some assistance in terms of navigation until then.
Okay. Fair enough. What's next?
Dessert?
Dessert.
Dessert is definitely more dried food.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it's dried fruit. It's like fruit leather.
Pretty much, yeah.
That sounds really good.
I will say you all do notice, excuse me, that whilst you've been chatting as a group and having this meal, Echo hasn't touched a single piece of food.
That does not surprise Xander whatsoever.
Bobbi will like make a note of it, but won't say anything.
What time is it?
It is probably late afternoon at this point.
Okay. I turn to the crew because it doesn't really matter, but I do particularly acknowledge Wyoming when I say this. Can we either get me a crutch or can someone help me back to my quarters?
I mean, I can help you out to find your headquarters. I mean, there was two available, but Echo took one. I don't know if you are comfortable with your current headquarters or you need another one. I can switch my quarters with you if that makes you, because they're closer to the main area. So I don't know if that's a good gesture for you, because I'm trying to be polite with you, not for any particular reason. I'm just trying to be polite.
Wyoming, that's a very generous gift. I would never ask someone to give up their room. I know how much you enjoyed being in the captain's quarters. I, however, don't feel like I am in a position to say no. However, once my leg is healed, I would like to revisit the conversation about potentially switching back.
Okay.
Does that sound fair?
I'm gonna provide you a rain check on that.
But I still need to move my stuff over, so can someone just I can't keep relying on people to carry me around everywhere. Let's find me something to help me walk.
Exactly. I think the same thing. Echo, you're out. I mean, no, wait, what?
How about this? You can help Xander for now, and the three of us will attempt to find something for you now, Xander.
Okay. Thank you. Echo, I imagine having a navigator on board is going to be very helpful for us in the days to come, so your skills are welcome here.
Damn.
Thank you. I appreciate your hospitality.
We're kind of a group of misfits ourselves, so it's one more, right? And I nod to Wyoming and kind of, I imagine we're sitting next to each other, so I kind of use him as leverage to stand up. And then I think just he and I kind of collect all of my things and bring them into the new room. And then once I'm kind of settled, as I sit at the desk that's in the captain's quarters, and before Wyoming kind of goes back to the crew, I shake his arm like elbow to elbow. Thank you. Thank you for saving me. I know you had a stronger part to play. I probably would not have made it if you didn't give me part of your stash, and I know how much that stuff means to you.
I mean, mi casa es tu casa. My stash is your stash. No worries. I mean, that's what friends are for.
Yeah. And I just kind of nod at that, and then I tell him I need to kind of catch up on some stuff here. So let me know when the crutch is ready. I'll be here. Clearly, I'm not going anywhere. And I start journaling everything that I can remember from what Bobbi told me, and then my situation. Everything from what happened since the last time I journaled up until the pod, and then what I could remember of what Bobbi told me, and then up until this moment.
Okay. So, to make you aware for the travel ahead, Xander, for your leg to heal, you have to spend like chunks of time in there, and it will like regenerate further each time. But you
like
can...
Echo's plan of like sleeping in the pod every night, and that's where I'm gonna be.
Yeah, and you can come out of the pod for like an extended period of time, but there is a caveat. If you go too long out of the pod, your leg will just be like, okay, we're done now, and it will stay at whatever that size is. So you got.
Do I have an idea of how many hours that is?
No.
Okay. All right.
But the more time you spend in it, now that you're conscious and aware of things, when you spend that time in the pod and when you spend time out of the pod, you should have kind of a more natural intuition as to when like it feels like
I need to go to bed. Yeah. Got it.
You'll get that kind of natural feeling, and you'll know then it's like, actually, this is the limit at the minute. Whether that limit is extended, the more time you're, the closer you are to healing, or shortened, you don't know yet. This is your first experience with one of these pods, so. But yeah. So, Wyoming assists Xander to the room. Xander, you go journaling. Bobbi, Lunar, and Echo, what are you guys doing?
I was going to gather up all the food I didn't eat into like a little charcuterie board for me to take to my room.
Okay. What about Bobbi and Lunar?
I guess Lunar would probably like try and go around and like find objects that could function as a crutch, but also be very aware that this is not what she's good at. And maybe what she would do is like try, like she'd like try to put something together, like it's got like a pipe or something, and like some duct tape or something, and it just is not working. And maybe what she would do is like maybe when no one else is around, or like go knock on Mira's door.
Okay.
And like hey Mira, I know you got a lot going on, and I get it. I do. I guess I just wanted to say that I appreciate you on this ship. You can do a lot of things that I can't, and we need you here when you're ready. Yeah. That's it. And then maybe she'll go like take that stuff to Bobbi and try to like see if we can figure out something like construct something
cool.
together.
Yeah. You say that through Mira's door, and you don't get a response back from that at the moment. And then you head over to Bobbi with the makeshift crutch that you have attempted to form. Bobbi, what you see is two metal pipes duct taped together in the middle. That's about it.
Maybe some padding.
I guess, like, is there anything that maybe I found that, like, we could add to this, that we could make it, like, a little bit better, you know?
Make me a savvy roll.
Okey-dokey. That is a 15.
15? Okay. You look around kind of the cockpit area, and you open, like, a drawer in one of the units. It's got some bits there, and you find like a metal brace that you can wrap around where the two pipes join, and with a bolt tighten, so it becomes like it's a lot more structurally sound. That seems good enough, and then with the bit of padding on the top to go under Xander's arm, it should be usable enough. Yeah.
I think this is as good as we're gonna get, to be honest, Luna.
Yeah. I don't know who else would Echo. They fix things.
We could go ask before we give it to Xander.
Yeah, I feel like this is. Yeah, I don't.
It'll do, but it doesn't look too comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay. So Bobbi and Luna, you head to Echo's room to see if they can assist. Echo, as you left the group and collected up your food and went to your room, what are you doing now that you are alone in your quarters?
I would be removing my gloves, not removing anything covering my face, but kind of feeding myself under my mask. Just sitting and thinking.
Muted. Whilst you're spending this moment kind of eating and thinking and contemplating what's going on, you think back to your crew, and like the last thing you remember, being placed in the pod, you weren't feeling well. They put you in there in the hopes that it would assist, and you think to yourself, I wonder what happened. I wonder what happened to the ship. Why it got destroyed? Why did all this happen? You kind of sit there and you're thinking over those moments before you were sedated in the pod, turning the scene around your head, trying to think, is there anything I can think of that, is there a clue as to what happened, why? And whilst you're kind of thinking about that and eating, you hear a rap on the door as Bobbi and Luna show up.
I'll put my gloves back on and head over and open the door.
Hi. We attempted to make a crutch.
Oh.
I know it's not great.
Constructive feedback or suggestions are appreciated.
and I'll hand it over to you.
All right. Do you have any spare junk, like anything that's not essential to the ship's functionality that I could take a look at? Like, this is great, don't get me wrong. A valid attempt. I would love to, if I can contribute anything to the design.
I mean, I have a few things.
I mean, there was a lot of stuff when we first got here, right? I don't know how much that's usable, but
yeah, give us like 5 minutes. We'll just grab some stuff. It's like the world's worst scavenger hunt ever. We don't even know what we're looking for.
I'll meet you. Why don't I meet you in where's the pod? In the storage bay? I'll walk around. I won't take anything, necessary that will cause the ship to explode. I will just meet you there in maybe 15, 20 minutes.
okay.
Perfect.
Grab anything you think might be helpful, even if it's weird. Like, you never know what something could be used for.
Okay. So, the three of you all exit Echo's room and go on your little scavenger hunts for parts. Can you all make me savvy rolls whilst you do this? Whilst this is happening as well, Xander, you're in your room journaling. Wyoming, you at this point you come out of Xander's room and you see the three of them kind of leave Echo's room and disperse around the ship.
What is this? Now they're going visiting Echo on its chambers? Just like that? Like, hey, I'm Echo, I'm a big shot. I mean, why? Why? So, I fucking hate that guy. It's like, what is its face? You know, it has no face. You can't trust it. I mean, it's like a plastic bag. You know. I mean, Jesus, like so petulant. That little prick with machine voice. I'm going to my chambers.
Okay. Bobbi, Lunar, and Echo. As you have all dispersed around the ship, you can hear mumbling from the corridor as Wyoming's clearly saying all this out loud. Stood there. But yes, Wyoming, you go to your chambers. I'm going to presume, but by all means correct me if I'm wrong, that due to you being extremely tired at this point, having not slept for several days, you're going to attempt to sleep.
Is there any other choice? Because everything appears to be about Echo. So I don't know if there's any other thing I can do on this spacecraft.
It's up to you.
Man. I get it. You know, I'm kind of jealous. Mm-hmm. Yes, because I do have a reflection on my glasses, but it's not like a huge mirror in my face. I understand, you know, but I don't know. I'm gonna give to this Echo situation a month, you know, tops. Mm-hmm. But if I can achieve something like really, really unique for the rest of the crew, maybe they will forget about Echo and take me a little bit more serious. What if I try to work on a crouch for Xander? Yes, that will do. So I will go to the storage and I will try to find something to create my own version of a better version of the crouch that Echo is working for Xander.
Okay. Okay. I'm cool with that. So, just need to roll. Okay, exactly as I hoped. So now the four of you disperse around the ship, trying to find items. Well, the three of you to fix the crutch you have crafted, and Wyoming, you are crafting your own.
I feel honored. Everybody's working so hard for me.
I know. Just wait. Just wait till you see the results. Bobbi, you head back to the cockpit, thinking, this is where I'm most at home. I should be able to find something here. Lunar, you head to the engine room, thinking, there's bits and parts in there. There might be something there. Echo, you go to the storage room where the pod is, kind of having a look around in the storage area. You all start looking around. Echo, you're kind of in a corner of the storage bay, and there's like a pile of boxes. You're kind of having a look and a little bit of a rummage, but obviously you don't want to really start digging in because you don't feel it's your place. Wyoming, you walk in to the storage bay, and you take a quick look around. You see the pod on one side, obviously unoccupied as Xander's in their room, and you look to the side and you see the silhouette of a black clad person rummaging in some boxes in the corner. You know exactly who that person is.
That little prick.
What do you do?
Oh, hey.
Yeah, you know what, man? I mean, that's cool. You're trying to do your best to earn your place on the crew. I respect that, but that's my shit.
Oh, this is your stuff?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, I mean, no problem, dude. All these surroundings are my spot, so just be on your way to another part of the spacecraft. I mean, no offense, but I hate you.
Look, I know we kind of got off on the wrong foot, so to speak. But, what's the problem, man?
I don't know, man. I mean, probably I don't trust you because probably you killed all your companions on that spacecraft. That's my main theory.
Well, that's a bit rude.
I mean, from one con man to another, I admire your work, but I'm a pro. Clearly, you are, some kind of amateur, scamming all these poor people with that sub story. I mean, you're trying to convince them, not me. I know the truth. I know what I know, and I know that you know that I know that's not true, bro.
So, if you're saying you are a con man, and that's why you recognize me, what is your intention here? Is your affection for Mazz just part of your con, or is this the exception that proves the rule? You're not trying to con these people, but
I haven't thought that because you're using a lot of words that I don't understand. But probably that's the technique that you use for your cons. Am I right, Mr. Fancy Word Pants?
I know I can't convince you of anything about me. I'm not even going to try. I'm not going to be exceptionally nice to you. You're just going to look at, no matter what I do, you will see my actions. as deceptive. When really, I don't care enough. I truly don't care enough to hurt people. We're all going to die, the universe will end. Why would I bother fucking with people?
I'm gonna. You know what? You can keep searching this pile of junk. You have my permission. I will find another place to scavenger, shit. So I'm not done with you, and you're not convincing me. But I'm gonna cut you some slack. For now. And I just walks, looking to his not face.
You trip over a box.
Shit!
I didn't see a thing.
That's right. That's right. And I just walk away really, really fast.
Okay. Some time passes whilst you all are scavenging your own ship for parts to make a crutch for Xander. Bobbi, Lunar, you find some bits and pieces that you think will assist, and you take them to Echo in the storage area where you said you would meet. Echo, you don't really find anything whilst looking around, especially in the corner where Wyoming said was their stuff, which is the pile of boxes where Lunar originally found Wyoming on the ship when he was passed out asleep. It doesn't look great, that corner. I will be honest, it's not been touched since Wyoming woke up, and probably the safest bet is to just leave stuff there. But the three of you convene in this storage area, and Lunar and Bobbi present you, Echo, with what they have found, which is some screws, some more duct tape, a thin piece of sheet metal that has a hole in it, like in the bottom right corner, about yay big, just a random hole, and several kind of foot-long pieces of wire. That's what they've brought.
I don't suppose we have any welding equipment.
I mean, I feel like
No. No,
If
that was well. Did Mira had a thing?
Mira's got, Mira has
Yeah, I
one,
was gonna
which will probably be in the engine room, where their little workstation is. So you will have some welding tools.
Alternatively, Danny, can I use my sword?
Yes.
Awesome. So I suppose I'll place everything, like trying to make that V shape of a crutch so that it'll be secure. I will, among all of the fabric on my person, I will find some that is not hugely necessary and wrap it around the top part for like the arm padding. And once everything is kind of arranged, I will take out my sword, and there's what almost looks like the brake on a bike handle, and I will click that to activate its thermal properties so that I can weld all the pieces together.
Okay. So for the benefit of Bobbi and Luna, who are stood there, you see Echo arrange everything, pull this samurai-esque sword out of a sheath that has what looks like a bicycle brake handle, a more white brake handle on the hilt. They engage it, and you see the blade of this sword begin to glow orange, and you can see steam kind of forming around it as this blade heats up. And yeah, they then use that to weld the metal components that you have gathered together onto the crutch you had originally, the metal pole, to create the V frame of a crutch and the crossbar and everything with a bit of sheet metal. And after a little bit of time, you have a somewhat half decent looking crutch.
We have some rubber we could make a foot, that way they won't slip, but other than that, I think this should suffice.
This is incredible.
Thank you for your help. This is way better than what yeah.
No problem.
I don't even know what to say. That was really cool. That is something I have not seen before. Have you, Luna?
No. That was yeah. Yeah, where do we get those? Can we get more of these, Captain? Once we get our bounty? I think we all need glowy swords.
I would agree.
Yeah.
When we get to the Iron Ring, I can see if there are damage or trade for parts to make, if I can fashion weapons for people, if that's what you want.
I'm not opposed. I don't think anybody else would be either.
I don't see why not. See what I can do.
Wow, I'm sorry. The sword just is incredible. It's stunning.
Thank you. It's been with me for a long time.
Well, we
Want to
can.
take this to Mazz or to Xander?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Weird. I mean, names so hard to remember, you know. I mean, we could see if we could find maybe a little piece of rubber to put on the end, and then we can give it to Xander.
Why don't you give it to Wyoming to give to Xander?
I'll kind of like look at you, just tilt my head a little bit. Okay.
You know he's going to take credit for it anyway.
Yeah, that's you catch on quick.
Yeah, not wrong.
All right, well, let's track Wyoming then.
So, the three of you head off to find out where Wyoming is and what Wyoming is up to. Wyoming, you've kind of been looking around, trying to find something that you can fashion a crutch out of. Can you make me a savvy roll, please?
Can I do that savvy roll while I'm high?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Because I'm in a lot of stress right now. So I take 2 Ps.
Okay.
Okay, now I see things. Okay, let's find some good shit. 13.
13. Okay. You go looking around the ship, and because you've taken some P's, which kind of do the opposite of what they're meant to with you, you're feeling a little bit hyper, and you're rushing around trying to find whatever you can. And
let's break a leg. You
run into the engine room, and you look around and you go, oh, there, perfect. And you grab of material, and you're like, right, that'll do. I can use this, and you're just like, you're full on like imagining the parts melding together in front of you like a hologram, and you're grabbing things and putting them together, and you're like, here, I've done it. This is
I'm
perfect.
going Tony Stark on this, man. I mean, I'm looking everything on my head right now.
Yeah, and you put it all together, and you're like, this is perfect. This is the most advanced crutch anyone will ever see.
Ever.
Perfect, ever. And you grab it, and you come out of the engine room on your way to Xander to present this amazing thing that's gonna build that bond you two have together even closer. And you basically walk from the engine room into the storage bay, which then leads on towards the crew quarters. And as you're as you enter the storage bay, Bobbi, Echo, and Lunar, you're at the other end, just about to leave and go to find Wyoming at the front of the ship. But he shows up behind you with an item in his hands even.
I start walking really, really confident on myself. I'm hearing 2001 Space Odyssey on my head while I'm walking. Humans, behold! I call it perfection.
How does it look? How does it look?
So it's a piece of rubber hose with like a nailed piece of wood on one end. So it's very like it's a rubber hose. There's no structural rigidity to it whatsoever.
The whole concept, it's really minimalist. But on application, it's really, really advanced. Because every time that Xander makes a squat, this crouch will make an espresso or a cappuccino. Take it, my leash.
Wow, Wyoming, I really don't know what to say.
Don't bother. There's no words.
Would you like to see ours?
No, not really. And I just walk away.
Okay. Echo, do you still I'll say like quietly, do you still want to give your crutch to Wyoming?
I don't think he would take it now. Maybe we should just give it to Xander, not in front of Wyoming. I don't want it to feel bad. And we'll let Xander deal with the fallout.
Yep, sounds good to me.
So you head over to Xander's room and knock on the door. Xander, you're busy journaling and you hear a knock on the door.
I bookmark my journal. I close it. I put it in one of the drawers of the desk. Come.
Who goes in first?
Come.
All right, I'll go.
Hello?
Did you open the door, or?
I'm not standing up. I don't have a leg.
Right, fair enough.
So no, you hear nothing, like no movement towards the door. You just hear Xander be like, "Come in." Is there anybody even up there? What the?
I'll open the door, but I don't want to walk in it just yet. I just want to let them know I'm there.
Oh, Echo, come in.
Thank you. I didn't want to just show up
would have opened the
Wyoming.
door, and then I gesture to the lower half of my body.
That's my mistake. That's on me.
It's cool.
I didn't want
Sometimes
to-
I forget that that's my situation too.
We've kind of made you a crutch. We think it'll be functional for at least the time you're awake.
Oh gosh, thank you.
Pass it over.
I flip it over in my hands. I kind of grab at it to see how sturdy it is.
It looks really good. It's like welded at joints and everything.
Oh. How is the padding on the top? Do I feel like it's got enough cushion?
Yeah, it feels like good enough. Like for the time you'll need it, it should be fine.
Okay. I put it on the ground and I kind of lean on it and tap it on the ground and I hear like a metal clink on the ground. And then, do I see the rubber hose?
Who is holding Wyoming's crutch?
Not me.
I mean, Bobby had it, right?
Yeah.
You?
I guess if Wyoming didn't take it back, then I'm gonna come in like a little bit after Echo. And just
Hi, Captain.
Wyoming made this one.
Bless that man's heart.
He's really trying.
He surely is.
If you see the base of the crouch, it has a little scrap of paper on it. It's a poem for you.
Do I notice a piece of paper on the bottom? You're not here, right?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
there.
but I do notice a piece of paper on the bottom.
I will
Yep.
say, yeah, as you're kind of holding it and going like, what the fuck is this? You see it.
Okay, I kind of sling the hose over my shoulder. Roses are red, violets are blue. So I missed the rest. Echo F. I don't say this out loud. But the last two lines are Echo F you man Xander, get well soon. And I don't say that part out loud. I fold up the paper note and I put it in the drawer. And I just and then I take the hose back off my shoulder. I mean, it's not entirely useless. I take my knife out of my pocket, and just so he doesn't notice that there's a huge difference, I cut a piece of the hose off at the bottom, and I kind of slice it down the center and open it. I fold it over, and then I use... Hold on, what do I have? Hold on. I use my fusion welder to kind of melt it down and then stick it to the bottom. And then I tap it on the ground again, and it makes a softer impact that feels less like more sturdy, like it's not gonna move and slip on the floor. And then I stand up.
Okay.
This is great. This is far better than I was expecting we would be able to get done, given what we have on the ship. I'm impressed, and thanks, guys.
Rob?
Yeah, I just had to use some very important life-saving parts of the ship in order to build it, but you should be fine.
Great.
That was a joke.
No, the ship's going to explode in 10 minutes.
Oh, I mean, I assumed. What else is new? That's kind of par for the course here. Thank you. Is it probably like evening time now, I assume?
Yes, I would say from like when you were all congregated together, it was a late afternoon. You've now gone off and spent some time alone. So yeah, we're talking like 10:30.
Okay. I stand up and I kind of use my clutch and kind of make a circle around my room. I still have the rubber one in my other hand, because I really don't want to hurt Wyoming's feelings. So here's what I think I will do. Do I have string or rope of any kind?
No. Not nearby. Like, you
I have
have
some
to
duct
go
tape.
somewhere to get
That's fine. I've got some duct tape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the piece of wood off, but I'm going to take the piece of rubber and just duct tape it down one side of the crutch, just to include it in the final model. So if he sees it, he knows, like, he contributed.
Yeah. He will think that the entire thing is what he created.
That's fine. It's, yep.
Makes
We all
sense.
know that is the case. It's fine.
Yeah.
So I kind of just nod to everybody, and I'm gonna go finish growing this whole limb that's happening down here. I'm gonna thank you, and then I kind of shut off the lights in my room, my new big captain quarters room. And I just kind of usher everybody out as I hobble away, and I close my door and I lock it.
You send the crutch just to get people away.
Yeah. Yeah, and I go back down to the storage room and I climb into the pod.
Okay.
And I rest the crutch against the back wall that the pod is kind of hooked up to, and I just climb in and I go to sleep.
Okay. Everyone else in the crew, as Xander, leaves their room and locks it, and you all see them head to the storage bay, to the pod. You'll kind of stand there for a moment and watch Xander walk away, limp away, and as they're moving along, you see this little foot that is kind of dangling from their knee, and you just see, like, every time they take a step and they move that one, it goes like as the foot itself is trying to walk on the floor, but it's just too far away. And as they hobble along the storage bay, that is where we will take our break. So, for those watching, thank you very much for joining us so far. We're gonna have a 10-minute-ish break, and then we'll be back for part 2 of this session. So please don't go anywhere. Hang out, get a drink, hydrate, and see you shortly. Bye. Hello and welcome back, everyone. Thank you very much for sticking around whilst we had our little break. Anyone who's joined during the break, hey, how's it going? So, I will give a very brief recap of what we have got up to in this first half.
I have a baby leg.
Yeah. Xander woke up in the pod with a baby leg. It hasn't fully regrown, it's just a little things just past the knee. Xander has met Echo. They are now best friends. Wyoming still hates Echo. They're not best friends. Xander has gone to their room, done some journaling, whilst the rest of the crew thought it'd be a nice idea to create a crutch. So when Xander is out of the hibernation pod healing, they can scoot around the ship and still be of some assistance. So Bobbi, Lunar and Echo went and made a very high quality crutch using some parts they found, and Wyoming, whilst slightly high, found a piece of rubber tubing and a piece of wood and thought that would do. Has offered that up as the crutch, to which Xander has attached the rubber hose to the good crutch to honour Wyoming's contribution. Xander has now gone back into their pod to rest overnight and to heal during those twilight hours. That is where we left off. So, everyone eventually goes to sleep for the evening, having a long day and a very eclectic and energetic evening, shall we say. Can Bobbi, Echo, and Wyoming roll me a body roll, please? A body check. I'll say that it's less.
Don't like that.
I know. I feel like I should spend a void point.
What did we?
I forgot that those are things.
17.
17. What did Bobbi roll?
I don't have any.
Trying to decide. No, fuck it. I'm just gonna leave it. 4. I rolled a 4.
Okay. And Echo. What did Echo roll?
18.
Okay, 18. Wonderful. Wyoming and Echo, you retire to your rooms and have a normal night. Bobbi, you go to your room, settle down to rest. But something is playing on your mind. A question from a couple days ago keeps popping up into your mind and kind of eating away at you a little bit. You know, do you think you're a good captain? How are you doing as a captain? Are you worthy to be a captain? All these questions keep popping in and out of your mind, and you struggle to sleep as your mind won't let you. You know, it's just a consistent back and forth of thought. And you try to think about something else. You try to refocus and, you know, get yourself off to sleep, but it's a failed mission. It's just not going to happen. So you get up and, you know, you decide, if I do a lap of the ship, you know, get some energy, get some of that energy out, you might be able to go back and rest. So you do that. You pace the corridor and the different areas of the ship, passing the storage bay where you can see Xander in the pod asleep, and you go to the engine room, check the engine, you have a look at the dials and the display screens, and you know very little of what they say because you still don't really know that part of the ship all too well. Mira will help you with that when Mira is ready to kind of rejoin the group, as it were. And then you head back up to the front into the cockpit of the ship and take a seat in the pilot's chair. Your chair, the place you feel the most comfortable. You sit there for a moment and you kind of look at the different diagnostic screens and controls. See a blinking red light on one of the panels.
Okay. Do I know what it's for?
No. You see that the panel is a small rectangle with screws on top and little handles, so it's like a unit of some sort that is inserted in as an additional system component, whatever, screwed in. And there is a small display screen that doesn't appear to be on. There's a slight crack in the corner spot, and there are what appear to be three LED bulbs, and the top one is blinking red. There's no text on the panel.
Okay. Could I just attempt to maybe like fix this as best I can, like even if it's just for like a quick moment where maybe it comes on and like says something, like just seeing if I could maybe try that. Like can I just like tap it kind of?
You can tap the screen and nothing happens.
Okay.
You can attempt to investigate further if you want.
Yeah, I think if I can, just seeing it, maybe if there's like a owner's manual almost for the ship that I could like flip through and see if there's anything that indicates what this specific light would be, like if it's cause for alarm, if it's something that like I should go get somebody else to help me figure out.
Okay. Make me a tech roll.
Aye. Ooh, 18.
18, okay. You grab a manual that is in the cockpit, one of several that you've found on board the ship during your time now, that kind of relate to different systems, and you flick through and you're kind of looking at diagrams in the book and looking at this unit, and you find a page that matches the unit. And the only information you get is that this is an additional systems unit that you can put in additional things to assist, to add to the ship's eclectic controls and systems. But the actual unit that's in there, you don't find reference to. The only thing you do know is that if you were to unscrew the unit and pull it out, it would probably say on the side what it is. If it doesn't have any information on the nameplate, it'll have like a serial number and name and everything on it.
Okay. I think I'll do that before I like go to wake anybody else for assistance. I'll just see what this is first.
Okay. So you rummage in one of your drawers there and find a screwdriver, and begin unscrewing the 4 screws that hold it in place. You take them out, pop them on the side, grab the 2 little handles and kind of pull this unit out of the control panel, being sure not to unplug the connectors at the end, but pull it out enough so you can have a look around. And you see written on the side of it, Unit 37-B8Z. Subspace scanner.
Okay. Cool. Realizing that it is a subspace scanner, I'm gonna be like, okay, let's go wake somebody up. I think I'm gonna go try to wake Xander, just knowing that like I don't really want to go bother Mira, and feeling like Xander might be the next best bet in the context of like technological things. So I'm gonna go wake Xander.
Okay. Are you gonna put the unit back in?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay.
I will put it back in.
Okay. So you slide the unit back in into its position, and you can see that the red light is still flashing on it. As you quickly, try and throw the screws in as quick as you can, just so that you don't lose them. You put the first 3 in. As you're screwing the 4th one in, you feel a vibration and a slight shudder in the ship. Instinctually, you look out the window and you see infinite black of space and the dot of stars billions of miles away, millions of miles away. And you're looking like there's no ships around, nothing there. And then you turn away to go back to that last screw, and then you're like, hold on a minute. You look back, and out of the window ahead of you, the darkness of space looks a bit off, as if it's moving. And then you see what looks like a ripple. So someone threw a pebble into a lake. And then you see it ripple and wave again. And then you see black. Darker than the expanse around you. Just small. It starts to get bigger. And you see a ripple come from around the edge of it. And then you see a dot of white light in the middle of this black that is expanding. And then that dot starts to get bigger. And then it becomes more of a grey colour. And rather than being like a round dot that's expanding like the rest of it, it's slightly misshaped. And then you get that ripple. Can you make me
Oh no.
a savvy roll?
Okay. That is a natural 20 for a 21.
Okay. I'm going to include that roll for your next roll, so you don't have to roll for this next thing because of that. You're looking at this anomaly, shall we call it? You don't know what it is at first. In front of you, and you're kind of stopped in your tracks, watching. And then, as this thing grows bigger, and the blackness around it grows bigger, and you see this ripple of space. You focus on it, and then you're like, "That looks familiar. I think that's no, that's not no." And as you kind of go, instinctually out loud, you go, "No." You realize in that moment that is an asteroid being thrown through a black hole that has appeared and is coming straight at your ship. Because you rolled high on your savvy, I'm going to say you're able to jump into your chair, grab the controls, and basically knock the ship out of autopilot and swerve drastically out of the way. Now I need a tech roll.
Okay.
And this will be with disadvantage.
Okay. Oh god, I don't know if I want to use one of these dice. Okay. Hey, yo. I rolled a 16 and a 17, so that'll be a 16.
Okay. You grab the controls and swerve away from this object that is hurtling towards you at speed. And you swerve away, and you're holding on to the controls, and you're putting as much power as you can through the engines at this point, which we're kind of cruising along to make this maneuver as fast and as sharp as you can. And you move off to the left while this object is coming, and this thing is just getting bigger and bigger the closer it gets to you. And it gets to the point where you're moving, and it's like we're at like about 45 seconds of this, full throttle movement, and this object passes. But the size of this, you're dwarfed in comparison to the size of this asteroid. This is like a planet killer sized asteroid that's just materialized out of nowhere past you. But as you swerve past, you look dead ahead out the front of the ship with this thing passing by, and all you see is this deep black of the hole that this asteroid came out of. And you're pulling and pulling in this hole, and you see it is the direction you're going as you swerved is still like direct path into this hole. It's opened up so big. You keep the controls going, you keep swerving, you keep turning and turning, and you see the edge of this hole and this ripple, this like spatial ripple and flux. And you keep going, and the hole doesn't appear to be expanding. If anything, it's contracting and shrinking. And you're moving away, and the black of this hole dips beyond your eye line to the point where your course is now not going to intercept into this, and you're going to be able to move past. But as you do, you feel a shudder through the ship as this ripple hits the ship. And you move past, off into the expanse of space, on a slightly altered course because of your maneuver, back on into the night.
I am going to sit there for a moment, like hands still on the controls, put the ship in autopilot, go to the mess hall, get whatever sort of alcohol we have, grab a mug, pour like half of a mug of whatever we have, go back to the controls with my mug in hand, and just sit there, just staring off into space, not going back to sleep, at least not tonight.
Okay. As you sit there, now in the wee hours of the morning, we're like 2 a.m., 2:30, 3 a.m. at this point. It's all quiet, the ship is steady, you're back on course. You hear the sound of metal scraping on glass from back in the ship. And then a thud.
I'll look out again just once more, just checking if there is anything, before I leave, I just want to check the like subspace scanner just to check that like Has the red light gone off?
There is no lights on it whatsoever.
Beautiful. Okay. Then I am going to go ahead and head in that direction. Of where I heard like the sound, but I'm going to go ahead and like on my way I'll go ahead and just grab like my gun as a like this feels weird, this seems scary, I don't like this, and then I'll go to where I heard the sound.
Okay, so you go to your quarters, grab your gun, and start heading down the corridor deeper into your ship where you heard this sound. Echo, you're in your room and you hear this sound of metal scraping on glass, followed by a thud. And you take a moment to check if there are any other sounds. And in that first instance, you don't hear anything. But then you hear the sound of footsteps, a door open in the general area of where you are, and then the door close again, and footsteps in the corridor outside your room.
I'll grab my sword and just open my door and look out and just see if I can see who was there.
Okay. You see Bobbi, gun in hand, in the corridor.
I'll just close the door behind me and start running, like jogging to catch up. Like, I'm not trying to be sneaky. So just, Captain, is everything all right?
I'll explain what just happened in a second, but I want to know what that sound was. Did you hear it?
Yeah, I heard it too. It was concerning, to say the least.
Let's figure out what it is.
Follow your lead.
Okay.
Oh god.
You continue past the crew quarters as a sound sounded further down than that. And you make your way to the storage bay where the hibernation pod is. And you step into the storage bay, gun in hand, sword in Echo's hand, and you quickly scan the storage bay, and you do left to right, and you see nothing until you get to the hibernation pod, where you see the corpse of Bo Zappa on the floor next to the pod, his blade on the floor next to him, and a very large scratch on the outer glass of the hibernation pod that Xander is in. There's only one hibernation pod.
I don't suppose this is another crew member I haven't met yet.
No, that's definitely not. That's who got Xander's leg. I think. I'm pretty... Okay, what the fuck is going on here? And like, is the corpse just he's just laying there? Like, it's not doing anything right now?
Just on his back, on the floor, dead. Blade like scattered onto the floor next to them.
I'll kick his blade away from his hand.
And I'm gonna have my gun like just trained on Zapper's like head specifically.
Okay. Body is unmoving.
Sorry, did you say he's on the floor or he's on the pod?
Zappa is on the floor. They had scratched the top of the pod with the blade, but they are on the floor.
Is he face down?
On the back.
Give him a little bit of a nudge with my boot.
Does not respond. Does not move. You see, like the eyelids are open. It's just all white as the pupils have rolled back. Mouth slightly open. You can see it's all dry inside.
Does the corpse look any different than when it was like initially brought on to the ship? Like besides just like normal like decomposition of like a body, like is there anything that maybe stands out as being incredibly odd, incredibly different?
This corpse particular does not look any different than when you brought this corpse onto the ship. Obviously, this body does look different to, say, a normal human body. But beyond the previously described in a past episode, for those that haven't watched, please go back. Other than what he looked like then, he looks the same now, just still dead.
Oh, you're getting me, Danny. God, okay. Still with my gun trained on it, I'm going to look at Echo. Can you do that thing you did earlier, the sort of welding that you had done? Can you do that to him now?
Sorry, I just want to make sure I'm understanding what you're asking. What is it you want me to stab him?
His chest. He had something on his chest. Can you just with your sword?
I can certainly see. I can try. I'll squat down and just try and look at it closely first.
Yeah. So looking at this corpse, who Echo you have not seen before, but Bobbi has when they were brought onto the ship. This is a human individual, but they are roughly like 7 feet tall, hulking muscle. Their top half was bare when brought on, just with some tattered pants. Looking down at the corpse, you do see that there is a metal plate attached to the center of their chest, with screw holes. A couple of the screws are missing, but there are still 2 screws holding this plate in place on this individual's chest.
I don't suppose anyone has tried to get this off in another way?
No, we were too concerned with Xander. We thought he was dead. I think he's dead. I don't know what the hell's happening.
Well, he appears to be kind of mostly dead. Do you think maybe we should restrain his arms or hands as a just in case measure?
Probably. I think we're also going to need more than just us is the problem.
He is kind of big. I didn't realize humans get this big.
Yeah, I don't know if this is some genetic enhancement, something that he's done, or if he's just naturally that tall. But and then like as I'm doing this, like still keeping an eye and like my gun trained on Bo, like is there any sort of like almost like intercom system in the storage area that maybe I could click? Okay, perfect. So I'll go ahead and like with my non-dominant hand, I guess my left hand, I'll like click and just be like, wake up, wake up, wake up, come to the storage area, come to the storage area, and just like keep repeating that for like a minute.
Mm-hmm. And that hits through the whole intercom of the ship. Lunar and Wyoming, this alerts the two of you. Bobby's shouting, wake up, come to the storage area. Sounds very urgent.
Grab my gun, come down.
Okay. Do you head that way as well, Wyoming?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Cool. You were saying something, Echo. I apologize.
Or should we wake up Xander for this?
Probably not a bad idea.
Okay. So, Echo, you tap the controls on the hibernation pod, opening get the word out then, opening it, and it in essence wakens Xander up, as the use of the hibernation pod puts Xander to sleep, so they can't like wake up and go to sleep themselves, but it's always on a timer for the night time, for their healing time. So you interrupt that, open it. Xander, you know, come to with Echo and Bobbi in the room, and Lunar and Wyoming kind of rushing through the door as you're coming around.
Hi.
Been asleep for 35 years.
I look down at my leg. You're full of shit.
I'm still working on this joking thing.
It was funny. What? Is it morning already? How long have I been asleep?
Look at Bobbi.
Do I notice the scratches? Sorry.
Not initially, no, because like
the door was swung out of my vision.
Yeah, and it's also frosted, so you wouldn't see it from the inside very well. But if you looked at it from the outside, you'd be able to see it.
Got it. Okay, sorry, Bobbi. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you follow Echo's head, like looking at Bobbi, you will see like me pointing the gun down below, sort of like the pod. And I'll just sort of like almost like take the gun and just like tilt it up, like to indicate like look.
I now sleep with my knife on me. No offense to Echo, but the last time I woke up there was a stranger on the ship. So I see the gun and I immediately shoot up, and I've got my knife and I lean over the side.
You see
Whoa!
Yeah, you see a large corpse.
What? I thought y'all put him in a freezer.
You were the priority. He was dead.
Okay.
He was dead.
Right. Apparently just fine. Okay.
No worry, people. I mean, don't panic. Don't panic. We have safety protocols on
How
this.
did he get out here?
Exactly. We have to vote because we have a mole on this spacecraft, and I vote for Echo.
Wyoming, focus on the serial killer who is next to Xander's pod.
You mean the other serial killer?
I think you have to kill more than one person to be a serial killer.
Okay, I'm just going to ignore that implication that Echo has, in fact, potentially killed somebody.
Yep.
Cool. I look at Bobbi. What the fuck?
Fuck if I know. I read
Did
Echo.
somebody- Sorry.
No, go.
Did somebody move the? Why is this here? What?
I mean, we should have put it on the freezer, but nobody put it on the freezer, or maybe we put it, but kind of late on the freezer. I don't know. It's a problem. It's an
At
issue.
any rate, it's here.
Okay, so I'm sitting up. I'm grabbing my crutch. I'm getting out of the pod. And I kneel down by this dude's head. So what are we gonna do about this, gang?
I vote, I mean, part of this is Echo's idea. Restrain him and then see what's going on with the chest plate thing.
Y'all still didn't take that out. Oh, did I notice that? I probably didn't even notice that.
You didn't even notice it until now. I mean, to be fair, Xander,
Yeah.
you've never had eyes on Bo properly until now.
That's fair.
And you're now
Okay.
realizing this
But I'm
person
putting
is
two and
7
two
foot.
together.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
realizing this person is 7 foot tall, all muscle, and you can see on the floor, like just that has been knocked away from him by Echo, the blade that chopped your leg off.
What?
Are you okay? You need a chocolate? Something?
What is this? And then I look at the plate. What? And then I look at the sword. And I just get real fucking quiet. I put my knife away. I walk over to the blade and I grab it. I walk back over and I hold it to Zap's throat. What are we doing? I look at Bobbi.
I say we break open the chest plate and see what's going on, but I do think we should restrain him first.
To put him in the pod. Nope, bad idea.
Nope,
No,
bad idea.
no,
Let's not do that.
Bad
no.
idea. Never mind. Bad idea. Look, we can trap him inside. Bad idea. Forget I said that. Okay, so I'm does he have hair or is he bald?
So he has hair. He has like, I'm gonna say almost shoulder length black hair, but only on one half of his head.
Oh, okay, cool. So he's got a big old side shave. Okay, so I have his own blade to his throat, and I'm just holding a huge fist of his hair very close to his scalp, so his head can't move.
Yeah,
And
he
I've
is-
got
he is very dead.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Clearly not enough. And then
Xander,
I've
what are you
got-
doing? That
got-
person clearly dead. I mean,
Did you not just hear the captain, or are you just not paying attention to the fact that this serial killer was apparently up and walking around? Can we just focus, please?
baby steps. No offense. We have to, first thing first. We have to check if is he alive, or is already dead?
I've got my good knee on his right arm.
Lunar will come and pin limbs down with you.
I think I said, does anybody have duct tape on them?
Let's. I can do that. I can do that. Yeah. We have duct tape. Yes. I have duct tape with me.
Good.
Yes.
Okay, duct tape his ankles, and I want you to put his arms above his head.
Absolutely. But okay, while I'm doing this, we have to make the right questions here. Why he was alive and how Echo is involved on this?
And then I look at the captain after we've bound his legs and his arms. Ready?
Yes. Echo, you want to do the honors?
Right?
Ooh, can I do that? Can I borrow your sword?
They're what?
I mean, it's a one life chance to use that sword, and it's kind of cute.
I'm
and
sorry,
you wanna do
they're
it.
what?
The sword.
And I just look at Echo's weapon.
I mean,
It's
was almost mine.
Would I recognize this weapon
Nope.
and like know what it is? No,
Nope.
not at all. Very cool. Everybody just be carrying swords now?
Not me, apparently.
I will whip my sword around and hand it, like, grip first to Wyoming.
Okay.
All right. By the way, Xander didn't say that at all. That was Xander didn't actually say that.
Wyoming, you have a sword in your hand. What are you doing?
Oh my god, this is amazing. Okay, focus. Yes. I'm gonna make this little cut right here. Yes, on the chest plate. Yes. Okay.
You have to click the handle.
I can do it. Just don't talk. Don't talk. You break my concentration. And yes, I'm going to make a cut on the chest plate, GM. Because I'm good at it.
Roll me a dexterity roll, please.
Absolutely, I can do that. And I rolled an 8.
Okay. Do you have any void points you could spend to up that roll? Or-
Yeah, I have bullet points. Absolutely. Can I
Okay.
spend one?
Yes.
Once?
Yeah, you
Just
can roll
once?
one,
Okay.
yeah. And then
Okay, I
reroll.
can do that. Okay,
You
let's
don't
reroll.
have to. It's just an option. Just a
Oh,
reminder.
12.
12. That is a success.
Yes.
12 is the number you
Yes.
need. Okay, so using this strange weapon you have never used before, never had anything like this in your hands, you attempt to make a surgical incision into a metal plate on this body's chest with
My non-dominant hand.
with your
Because
non
it's
okay.
funnier.
Okay. With your non-dominant hand, with a weapon that is quite long, so you can't exactly get close. You can't hold it with your other hand because it is extremely hot. But somehow you all watch, and Wyoming manages to kind of cut the edge of this plate on the side that still had screws attached. And he cuts around them, and basically the metal plate is now loose and can be removed.
Ooh, okay. It's loose. It's loose for now. Are we ready? Are we ready for this? Are we doing this?
Everybody's good to go?
Just to be sure, Echo, can you take a closer look at this, please? I need you closer because you need a better look on this. Just in case. Dude, are you coming or not?
Still hesitant. I will crouch down and look at it.
Okay.
Okay. And I, open the chest by all means in the better fashion
Mm-hmm. Okay.
on the tone of this play.
Okay, so you remove this metal plate from the person's chest. That's like, hold on, about like that big on the chest there. You move it away, and you see a large hole in Bo's chest where you can see the sternum and the ribs in this section have been removed, and you can see the exposed organs underneath. You can see the 2 lungs, and you can see that due to this person being dead and them not breathing, their lungs have deflated, and you can see that as they have moved, you can see Bozapper's heart in their chest. And something else there.
Something else, you say?
Yes,
How come?
because there's something else there.
Listen, Echo. My glass are kind of dirty right now. I can't see clearly. Would you mind just to check this tiny thing here? I'm not sure what this is. Right here.
Xander, can I borrow one of your knives, please?
Yeah, I let go of his head and I hand over a knife.
His head hits the
Got back
floor.
on. And then I think I also turned to see if there's anything on the back of the plate that's of use or interest or any serial numbers, no information.
It appears to be just a metal plate with a little bit of like blood and sinew on it.
Got it.
Alright, I'll cut some of the extraneous tissue away from the heart so that it can be seen more clearly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. As you get in there and start removing bits of material, you can see that there appears to be a small blackish object attached to Bo's heart.
Well, that doesn't look normal.
No.
I suppose I'll cut out his entire heart.
Okay.
We can examine it.
Okay. So, using Xander's knife, you cut. You sever the heart from the arteries and veins, and you kind of place your hand in underneath his heart, so you're not touching the object that's attached to it. And you all watch as Echo pulls out Bozapper's heart from his chest, because it's definitely a dead body. Pulls the heart out, and now that it is out of the cavity and you can see it clearly, there appears to be a small black something attached to the heart on top.
What does it look like?
Make me a savvy roll if you want to kind of get a up close and personal look at it.
15.
Okay. Cool. Taking a look, it appears to be a flat, disc-like black stone.
Does it look mechanical?
Nope, it looks like a black stone.
Okay.
Shiny. Again, flat, circular. Almost disc-like, but a little bit too thick to be disc-like. It's black, but it has like lines of yellow going through the stone.
Like marbled?
Kind of, but more like banding almost.
Okay.
At the top of the stone there is a hole, and there appears to be like a like say there's a stone, and then there's a hole at the top there, and then there appears to be another piece of black stone, like a band linked through it, like carved part of it that is linked through, and there appears to be a protrusion off that is going into the heart.
Huh. I rip off a piece of my tunic that I'm wearing, and I asked for my knife back from Echo. And I take the piece of cloth and put it on the stone and kind of get my thumb on one of the edges, but it wrapped in the fabric.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to cut it away from the heart and then like wrap it into the fabric as I go, so I'm not directly touching it.
Okay. As you put the cloth over this stone thing and kind of pop it underneath, You don't even need to cut it out. You can literally pull.
Okay.
And as you do, you can see that there is a spike that has pierced into the heart, and that's what you're pulling out.
Okay.
So it's like a spike with a loop on the end that is then that has this black metal disc, but all of it is this black stone with yellow banding. So it looks like it was one piece carved and made into these two connected pieces.
And it was just kind of like, aside from the spike connecting it to the heart, the other half of stone was just laying on top of it. But when the heart was upright, it was still just against it. And
Yeah,
it was,
so
like,
if the heart was
there.
upright and there's like the ventricles and everything, the arteries and stuff, it was like pierced straight in that way, and then had the disc there.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, so I keep this kind of wrapped in this cloth.
That was with the body the whole time?
Do I see anything else weird in the chest cavity?
I mean, it's missing a heart now, but apart from
Right,
that,
but
no.
nothing weird.
No, actually, one thing I will say, you don't see anything weird in the chest cavity, but the fact that his sternum and ribs are missing, looking at where his ribs are, where they would attach, it's very clean cut, like surgically cut.
Okay. Do I have the sense this may have contributed to, like, the size he was able to be?
You've never seen anything like this before?
I've never seen any. Okay. All right. I'm pop open his eyelids. I don't see anything weird.
No.
Just dead, like, clouded eyes.
Just like watching you as you do it. No, they're completely dead, clouded.
Okay. In that case, what I very quick, very without remorse, without thinking about it twice, I chop his head off with his own blade.
Okay.
And I kick his head away a little bit like a soccer ball.
But you kick it with your baby leg.
No. I suppose I can't kick it. Shit, I don't have legs. Okay, then I put it away like a golf ball with my sword. The sword is now mine. And I guess I kind of look at the stone and this piece of fabric, and I kind of like show it. Does anybody recognize this? And I show it to Echo first.
Okay. Echo, make me
I recognize it.
make me a savvy roll.
Seven.
17, perfect. You look at this stone, and apart from the strangeness of the fact that this has just been pulled out of a corpse's heart, looking at the raw material that it is, you do recognize it. You don't recognize the shape or anything like that, but you do recognize the raw material that it is. Which is it is void crystal.
Oh. This is. This is a void shard.
Xander kind of has a very short flash of slight fear at that information. Cool. And void shards reanimate the dead?
Void shards can affect different people differently. There's not a lot known about them. it's leftover material from the void once it enters the known universe. It's not something I've seen a lot of.
All right, I wrap it back up. We were just at a planet. That's where we found this guy. Not on the planet. There was a lunar station above the planet where we found him. But regardless, on that planet, there were a lot of what looked like to be people did not behave as people. Behaved as the best description I have for them is rabid cannibals. They looked dead. Did not act dead. And I don't know if this means they were all affected by void shards. But before I clocked out, as it were, Zappa's behavior was not similar. It was no different than what I would expect a psycho killer to be, but it wasn't like the creatures on the planet. I don't know if there's a connection, but if a corpse got up and walked, that's a little too similar.
Wish I had more of an answer for you. I've never seen void shards reanimate people. I think I've seen one that was lodged in the hull of another ship from breaching void. But I've never seen it affect living human tissue like this. I don't even know how it would get inside of human.
I mean, clearly it was surgically added to him, probably during one of his many alterations that he elected for. Have you ever seen a shard perfectly polished like this? This seems like someone took a shard and knew what they were doing and crafted it this way. I've never heard of somebody using a void shard for anything.
Neither have I. It's really mostly just junk.
That's what I've heard. I put it away in my pocket and I make the mental note to myself that maybe Mira can find out more information. Danny, would I have any familiarity with this kind of material?
No. None of you, apart from Echo, has encountered this material before. You have all heard of, you all know of the void, this ever-encroaching emptiness at the edge of the universe. And you know and you've heard tales of things coming through the void. And the creatures that live on the edge of the universe that seem to have, moved closer to civilized, habitable areas. And you've heard tales of people going out to the edge and experiencing things. That's why you get some of these people with corrupted minds and who've lost sanity through that experience. But you've never encountered anything from that yourselves. You do know, I would say Bobbi and Lunar know this more so, but Xander, you'll know this quite a bit as well. That on the Iron Ring there is a small, it's a cross between a church and an archive that kind of houses knowledge on the universe, and it's one place that has information on the past and the history of this solar system and everything that's going on, but it's also housed in a little bit of a culty kind of church vibe group on the Iron Ring. that kind of worship the ever-growing emptiness that is coming. So it might be a case of, because your plans are, you are currently traveling back to the Iron Ring because the hope is that there'll be more aid there to speed up Xander's recovery, and you have a bounty to collect there. There's a possibility that when you guys get there, you could research this item and void shards in general more, and get more information on what these things are, and maybe get some information on this particular item you have.
The thought occurs to Xander that the bounty on Zappa may not have just been about Zappa, that it could potentially have been about the shard. I'm debating on whether or not I keep this to myself.
What, that information or the shard itself that everyone's looking at?
No, like that question. Okay, we need to put this guy in the freezer. Because I'm tired of looking at him, mostly.
I mean, we could dump the body now.
No, we can't.
You just drop the head off, so we keep the head.
I guess we could do that.
Which part are we putting on the freezer?
I mean, to be honest, I would recommend we go ahead and keep both pieces, just keep them separate.
I won't disagree with that. What information do we have on the people we are collecting our bounty from?
That's a good question.
What information do we have?
We just got like second hand, right?
It's posted on Fiverr.
Oh. I thought I misheard you and I didn't.
Me neither. Sometimes I look over at their subtitles too and I'm like, what did they say? This is great.
To assist Bobbi, who is frantically searching
our notes, yeah.
I'm literally going through the notes right now.
You don't need to, because it was never a question you guys have asked before. So you do not have an answer. So you received the bounty information from the dead bounty hunter.
Oh, that's right.
But there is a bounty notice that was part of his notes, and it is from the wardens, which is kind of the general police sort of council at the Iron Ring. Due to the fractured nature of this solar system and society, there is no real centralized police force or anything like that, or controlling group. But these individuals called the Wardens have kind of formulated this almost Western Ranger sort of law outfit.
Like a security team kind of.
Yeah, but very more.
But more, yeah.
Yeah, more space Western.
More cowboy.
Yeah,
Got it.
Space cowboy. They're the ones who put these bounties out, or people come to them and be like, I want to put a bounty out on this individual. They did this, and if they deem this individual's crime worthy of punishment, then they'll accept that, and then they will sort out the bounty requests and stuff. So it is those that posted the bounty that you now have the notice for.
Got it. Okay. In that case, I think I'll kind of place myself up and sit back on the edge of my cryopod. I know we don't know a lot about why this bounty was placed on this guy's head, aside from the fact that he's a serial killer, but if the wardens were asked for this guy to be taken down, something tells me it's not just about him, especially now that we found this. So here's my thought. when we bring him back to the warden, before we show proof, I want more information on if it was their bounty directly, if somebody came to them and requested that he be taken in, and why. And I want to follow this trail, because if somebody can wield something like this, we don't know if this is what caused him to be able to suddenly wake up again. And presumably that's what happened, otherwise how the hell would he get here? I don't know if he did anything else while he was up, but suddenly he's here. I don't know about the pod yet, so...
Yeah, it's a good idea. Maybe we could split up. One of us could pretend to be interested in the bounty and ask questions, and then the next group could bring in if that feels safe.
And collect.
Yeah,
it's not a bad idea. I definitely think I again, this could have had nothing to do with what happened with him and why he was moving around. However, I cannot help but have this peck at the back of my brain that this is what the reward was for, and not just Zappa. I think it was just... maybe he was just the cherry on top.
To add to that, we could potentially... we have the person go, ask about the bounty, follow the trail. Next group comes in, we don't bring the stone in, we just bring the body.
Oh yeah, no one's...
bring the head.
No one's touching this. No one's touching this unless we're going to find out more information on it, which we should also do. But we also have to accept the possibility that the wardens won't tell us anything. Yeah, I guess we can kind of discuss plans more as we get closer to the ring. Echo, Bobbi, how far out are we?
Danny, how far are we?
So currently you're now about 3 weeks away, and this is following your original flight plan. Echo, as you are a navigator, if you want to take a look at the flight plan that the crew have set and see if there are any amendments you can make, and by all means you can do that.
But I can do that maybe like tomorrow, or you want me to go to the bridge right now and take a look?
I mean, that's up to you guys. I don't remember. I think it was 3 weeks originally, but I don't know now that we have a navigator. Maybe you guys can figure out how to get there faster. I need to go back to bed.
Make a point of checking the charts tomorrow and see if we can make up time somewhere.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead and put the head somewhere, put the body elsewhere.
Okay. Did anything else happen while I was asleep? Regrowing my limb?
Yeah. So funny thing.
Oh no.
Yeah. Couldn't sleep. I'm sure you all know how it is. Big, mini bigs. Asteroid. Almost hit the ship. Almost killed us. We're okay. But terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. But I will say you're welcome. For your lives. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that might as well have happened.
Yeah. It rains, it pours.
An asteroid? Out of just regular...
Yes.
Was there just an asteroid, belt? What?
No. It was came from a black hole.
I'm sorry, a what?
It came from a black hole.
Just kind of conveniently leave that part out? Were we?
Excuse me for being a little busy with the fact a dead body was moving.
No.
The fact
No,
I
that
almost died.
That I get. No, I meant the black hole part specifically.
That's what I'm saying. Apologies, but there's a lot going on right now. It's very difficult to remember everything when a giant planet killer asteroid is coming, and I am trying to make sure we're okay. It is not. Oh my god, it was.
Hey.
Captain, no
Hey.
worries. We get it. You're doing the best you can in order to make us safe. So please, everybody, just calm down. Let me be the voice of reason on this situation.
Always. Always are.
Exactly. I mean, that's my role on this team. So let's do our best effort in order to contribute to a solution for this situation. Captain, please guide us. Let's see what we can do. Let's dispose this body in 2 separate ways. And I don't know what else we can do in order to be proactive on this Stella. I'm a new man with a
Play a game
new
of chess.
perspective. And I'm trying to be very, very, very proactive on everything you ask me to.
Okay.
No, not really. I'm just joking.
Yeah, okay.
See you guys later.
Before you go, can I get my sword back, please?
Come again, pal?
Can I get my sword, please, before you head back to bed?
What sword?
I pick up Zappa's head and I throw it at Wyoming.
Hey. Oh,
Give them their sword.
yeah. This sword. I'm sorry. I'm
Mhm.
sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah. Here's your sword, pal.
Thank you.
Hey, Wyoming, thanks for the crutch.
I mean, isn't the best.
And I like quick wink over at Bobbi, Lunar, and Echo.
Huh?
All thumbs up.
Take a note, Echo. Maybe you will learn something about this crutch.
Absolutely.
I'm going to bed. I'll see y'all in 8 hours.
Night.
And then I think as I like go to climb in and like pull the door before I climb in and pull it over me, I notice the scratches on the glass.
I'm sure it's fine.
I point, and then I hold up the Zappa sword. I'm like, yeah, okay, all right, cool. And then I just go to bed.
As Xander gets in their pod and goes back into stasis, and the rest of you go back about, I mean, it's like 3:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. As the rest of you either go back to bed or back to your rooms to prepare for the day ahead. Echo, you have your sword back from Wyoming. You head back to your room with the knowledge of void shards are being used for things, and you've only ever seen them as like bits of matter that have been thrown out of the void and into the universe in your travels. So that's new. That's interesting. This group of people you have happened upon and joined their crew, clearly up to some interesting things, with large corpses with holes in their chests and plates and chopping heads off, and only having one leg and a baby leg, and black holes and asteroids. So, lucky these guys found you, because they seem to be a very lucky group of people. As you go back to
Welcome to Stella.
yeah. And as you go back to your room and kind of think about this crew that you have joined and this strange ragtag bunch, and the fact that you have entrusted your lives with these people now. As you let that thought sink in, we'll end the episode there. Thank you everyone for watching. We very much appreciate you joining us for this episode. We will see you all in 2 weeks, as is every other week. And yeah, thank you very, very much. Before we end, we will go around the table and let everyone know who everyone is. We will sell our wares and tout our other projects and bits and pieces. And there'll be a little bit of information about our sponsors too. So let's go in reverse order than we started with. So Echo, you're up first.
Hello, I'm Rachel Beauregard. I am a professional actor. You can find me intermittently on the Initiative Order. You can also see my art on Instagram at @design. I do all the promo and background art for Dragon Rock RPG's Mythical Melee, which is coming up soon. You can also find my personal Instagram at @ManicTakeGirl. I have had to private it because the bots, they're destroying my life. So you can still follow me, and I will, as long as you're not a bot, I will let you follow you back. Thanks for having me and putting up with my weird voice that is sometimes something.
That is still on.
That was amazing and disturbing.
That was excellent.
Next up is Lunar.
Hello, I'm Melissa Rose, who plays Lunar Terracin on this lovely show. I am on Instagram. Also, only get followed by bots now. I have a complicated relationship with social media right now. So, follow me if you want, but if not, it's fine too. You can follow these lovely people. And, subscribe to Initiative on Twitch. I have no current projects at the moment except this. That's it.
Thank you very much. Next up is Xander.
Hello, my name is Mazz. My pronouns are they, them, and I have played Xander. Pronouns he, him, and they, them, and he is our Chrome. You can find me here every other Saturday at 1 p.m. PST, 3 p.m. EST, as your resident Chrome. And you could also find me every Wednesday over on Open Circuit Studios in their Leverage Los Angeles show. I play a grifter named Carter. That is at 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. EST. And what else am I doing? That's it. My Instagram is Mazzface. That's MAZZ face. You could also find me on Twitter as @RealMazzface, because Mazzface was taken by a real estate agent 10 years ago and has not given me the handle back. What else? I think that's it. Stay safe, stay hydrated, and remember who you are.
Thank you very much. Next up is Wyoming.
Hello, people. My name is Homero Rios. I'm a comic writer with work published by Heavy Metal Magazine. You can follow me on every social network as the Homero Rios. Please subscribe and please follow us here on the Initiative Order. That was cute, and everyone knows it.
Thank you very much.
You are cute, and everyone knows it.
Oh my gosh, stop it.
And next up we have Bobbi.
Oh my god. Hi, it's me. I'm Cori. I use she, they pronouns, and I played Bobbi, our tow trucker pilot, just trying to do the best with what they can. Yeah, you can find me here every other Saturday for Death in Space with these lovely people, and just generally causing mayhem in the Discord and probably also working on my master's thesis. Yay.
And lastly, me. I'm Danny. He, him. You'll find me here most of the time. If I'm not here, I'm working. So it's usually here. Check for traps on all social media and the Initiative Order as well. Yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us. We do have some amazing sponsors. We want to shout out Session Zero Clothing, D&D inspired streetwear, Norse Foundry, amazing artisan dice. Mythical Armory, who have done some amazing dice Kickstarters and also do streetwear and gaming accessories. And Umbral Oculus Dice, our very own Taryn, goes by Valrook on social media as well. Our GM for Far Realms, one of our other amazing horror TTRPG shows, is an artisan dice maker who makes amazing custom resin dice at Umbral Oculus. So check them out. They're all in the Twitch chat. Check them out. Follow our social media. We will see you all in 2 weeks. Yeah, thank you all for hanging out. And
Roast beef.
yes, let the roast beef flow. Cheers.